Good morning and welcome to 0 to 60. Today we're in a 2017 Volkswagen Amarok. Now this isn't the new model. It's the last of the previous generation with the round fog lights. It is the Highline and it is the automatic, so that means it's got 180 horsepower, 420 Newton meters of torque, and that is 20 more than the manual version. And it's spec'd relatively well. Being the Highline, it's got the sat-nav, leather steering wheel, pretty much electric everything. It's actually a really nice place to be. The gearbox is an 8-speed automatic. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure if it is the ZF, which I'm very fond of, but it is a very nice, shifting, fast, clever automatic. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what it does.
Absolutely. It's obviously being an Amarok, it was the first dedicated pickup or ute from Volkswagen, and obviously direct competitors to like the MP300 we've done, yes, the Hilux we've done. But initial impressions is they've done very well. It's still very Volkswagen inside.
Very much so. It's got a similar feel. The only other new Volkswagen I've been in is that Scirocco.
Yeah.
The wheel feels the same, seating position. It shouldn't be the same because the Scirocco is much more lower down, but it does feel similar.
Yeah, for a dedicated commercial car or for a ute, the seating position feels very car-like, and actually everything feels very car-like, which as time goes on, these utes or these pickups are no longer being used just for tradies getting on and off of job sites. They're now being used as cars as well.
Yeah, they are the family car, aren't they?
It's a very well-equipped car, and all of the materials in here, they're rugged, but they're not...
They don't feel cheap.
No, they still feel nice, which is sort of a perfect mix for a commercial car.
So, knowing that it's got around the 180 horsepower, it's got a lot of torque. I think it's same torque as the MP300, that 420 mark. What do you reckon it's going to do on the 0 to 60 run?
This spec, this model, it still doesn't feel slow, especially, again, it's not great for 0 to 100, but once it is moving, like that, yeah, it feels light. Yeah, there we go. It's not as sluggish, is it? I reckon it's going to be 12 and a half.
I don't think it's going to do 12. I think it's going to be around the 14. But what I am actually interested in is its 50 km an hour to 100 km an hour time. I think this is going to be quite good there, and I think this is where it's going to shine over the MP300.
Just turn my heated seats down.
All right, let's go and see what it can do.
Yep, let's go.
Well, had the runs done, yeah, it's pretty good. I think the thing I'm taking away from it, this, like the Hilux SR5 we did earlier in the year, is faster in normal mode. It's actually slower at accelerating in sports.
It's funny how often that happens. It's you wouldn't think for a second that sport mode is going to be slower, and actually, when you're just normally driving it, it does feel quicker. It revs higher, but I think that's, especially on these diesel engines, that's why it's slower.
Yeah.
It's all the torque is down low, but in the sports mode, it revs right to the red line, and
it doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess there's no power there on the diesel,
unless it's for towing. I don't know. But yeah, it did 11.9 in normal mode, and was it 12.7? God, I've forgotten already.
In sports, yeah, somewhere in the 12s,
which is a second slower.
Yeah, and that's pretty similar to the 2016 SR5 Hilux, the Colorado, which was tuned, but I think that was it was low 12s.
Yeah.
The NP300 was a bit slower, maybe another second slower than the sport mode. But so this in the full auto mode was one of the quickest utes.
It was the fastest 4-cylinder diesel dual cab that we've done. Which is pretty impressive, and I gotta say, it's one of the nicest.
Yeah, it is.
I'd say the interior is on a similar level of finish to that Hilux, which I quite liked. I know people in Australia haven't been too fond of the new generation Hiluxes, but to me it feels very similar.
I'd say ride's quite similar to the SR5 as well, and I think you said it before, similar to the NP300.
It is, yeah. I mean, I went in that 300 when it had standard suspension, and that is what this feels like.
Yeah, after Russell put the Bilsteins in it, it was pretty impressive. But yeah, I like actually driving this car. It's awesome how car-like it feels, and especially with that the Volkswagen steering wheel that everyone knows and loves. It just feels so good, and the quality's there. You got the piano black. It's a nice place to be.
One feature this has got, which I haven't seen on any other ute, is a rear deck or rear tray light, which what a good little feature.
Yeah,
we're trying to get something out the back. You can actually turn a light on and see. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to see any more of these, please subscribe below.
Yeah, and if you have got an Amarok as well, I would love to see the new 2017 one, the update. They're obviously they look very, very similar, just with I think the front bar is a little bit different, but it's got the big V6, which after seeing this do an 11.7, I think that V6 could be a weapon.
I think that's going to be a contender for the MP550.
Yeah, which is...
Or N550.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you have got one of those, please let us know what sort of times you guys are getting, because I would love to know.
Peace.